Congressional reporter Mychael Schnell, who works with our media partners at The Hill. And Mychael, you've had a front row seat to everything happening in the House. Let's first go over what happened today. So right now, at the time that we're recording this, it's Friday at 2:50. They were adjourned last night. And House Republicans, they had a night to figure out how to go into the weekend. What are you seeing so far?
Right now, we're on ballot 13, and that has the ballots first began. The lawmakers first began voting on Tuesday. It's now Friday. We're doing this for the 13th time now. But Kevin McCarthy has made significant headways in his quest for the speakership. For the majority of these ballots, we've seen 21 Republicans not vote for McCarthy. 20 of them had voted against McCarthy, and then one had voted present, which means that she didn't vote for anybody, but it has significant impacts for the vote tally. Today on the 12th ballot, that was a significant one. We saw McCarthy pick up 14 of those so-called Republican detractors. 13 of the ones who hadn't been voting for him switched to him, and that one present vote went back into his column. And then on the 13th ballot, which we're currently seeing right now, another one of those McCarthy holdouts flipped into his favor. So Kevin McCarthy made some significant headways today in that quest for the speakership, though he's still not there yet. He needs at least 218 votes to win. He's right now, he's just not there yet. There are about 6 Republicans who have still not voted for him. A number of them call themselves Never Kevin. So we have to see how this will play out. But and it still remains to be seen if he'll get the speaker's gavel. But right now, significant progress for Kevin McCarthy.
So for the 6 who say that they don't have Kevin McCarthy's, they don't trust in him, at the end of the day, what do they want? What are the deals that you're hearing about taking place behind closed doors?
Honestly, some of these McCarthy holdouts right now at the time are saying is that they just don't trust him. They don't like him as a person, and they don't want to see him be speaker. If you take someone like Matt Gaetz, he's been saying this since November when McCarthy won the GOP nomination to be speaker. He just doesn't trust the guy. He doesn't think he should be in the position. So, of course, you know, right now they're saying that they won't vote for him at all. But I mean, the way negotiations work, when that pool of holdouts gets smaller and smaller, the pressure undoubtedly gets larger on them. So we'll see if any of those 6 cave, if they maybe will come in and bring some requests to the table that maybe McCarthy can swallow. But what a lot of these concerns are is they just don't like Kevin McCarthy and they just don't trust him.
So, you know, Mychael, we know about getting the role of House Speaker is about bargaining. But if Kevin McCarthy does end up getting this position, I mean, it came with global humiliation, and he would be pretty much seen as a puppet. Now, how does he come back from this and actually be looked at with respect?
Well, look, the Republicans just took the majority in the House after being in the minority for 4 years. So they have a ton of plans for how they're going to wield this increased power. They have legislation they want to bring to the floor, resolutions they want to bring to the floor, committees they want to set up. And one of the biggest things is investigations they want to conduct. They have previewed a number of these probes involving people like Hunter Biden, President Trump's son, the withdrawal from Afghanistan during the early months of the Biden administration, and also Dr. Fauci, the origins of COVID-19. They have a lot of these investigations planned. So I think that one way that McCarthy can sort of get his power back is if he supports those investigations and he helps those investigations come to fruition. Also, if he brings some legislation that members of his party wants to see, if he brings that to the floor. So there are a number of ways that he can use this power to appease his conference. But no doubt about it, he will be likely a weaker speaker after these concessions. If we just go back to the motion to vacate the chair, instead of requiring that a majority of the majority party call for a vote on his ousting, it can only be one member. So if there's one guy who doesn't like him, it could be a real pain for Kevin McCarthy.
All right, Mychael Schnell from The Hill, thank you so much for being here.